Why don't we start the show again?
Yeah, let's start it again. The year is 2023. It's the 23rd of the third month of March, and you're wasted away on the North Coast with
The third month
Amigo
of
Schmo.
March?
The third month of the year, March,
Oh, okay.
and you're wasted
I
away
thought
on the
March
North
had gotten
Coast.
longer for some reason. Had been divided.
Yeah,
into thirds.
the third. Hey, this is Amigo Schmo.
Mike,
And Mickey.
Oh, hey, guys.
And we're back for the second show of the year. We did intend to do a February show. I want this on the record. We didn't forget.
It's it
We
was a
did
short month.
schedule one, but it just didn't work out. But we did intend to do a February show.
well, Joe had all that vacation stuff going on, so it
Hey,
Yeah, it
was
was
so
a
did
February,
you.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
yeah.
Was that February when I was in
Yeah, we were
Hawaii?
supposed to, you were kind enough to agree to do the show the day before your vacation, the eve of your vacation. And then we had the ice storm and you had power knocked out.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah,
did
Yeah, that's
intend.
right.
was power out when you left?
At the end of February, beginning of March. No, it just came
It
back.
just came back.
Mm,
Okay.
And we had uh, my brother-in-law, mother-in-law here because they were going to take care of Lucky, but then they lost power before us, and they didn't get it for another couple days.
Oh,
wow.
So they stayed at our house with Lucky, and then moved. So we had someone at the house. That was cool. But we just got it back. I don't know exactly what we are going to do.
yeah, that would suck trying to get ready for a trip with no power. Jeez.
I know.
So we're here now instead talking about February shows, February concerts that Jimmy did in Florida.
All
See,
right.
not too far after. We didn't miss it by much.
Yeah, yeah. We
Yeah,
had to
we
Could
let
only
have
the
been worse. We've missed a lot
we
we
worse
missed
had
than
to
about
that.
let the
one.
February shows happen and digest them and process them.
Well, I was all set to go. That's all I'm going to say. But anyway, I can't blame it on anybody. It was an act of God because it was a
Mhm.
power outage. And it
Plus,
was,
we all knew even if there was no power outage, I'd probably be running around
yeah.
getting ready to go in the morning. And as it was for my Hawaii trip coming back, we because then there was a snowstorm here. So I'm sitting there. Deborah was certain nothing was going to happen to our flights, but I was like, something could happen. And we checked out. We went across the street with the rent a car, and we walked around these shops and they had lunch. It was all planned. Then we're going to go to the airport and leave like at 3 or 2 or 1. I don't know, something. And they canceled it. We go to Seattle and then Seattle to Detroit. They canceled the Detroit one,
Oh,
but they
jeez.
automatically booked us to go to LAX. And then I was going all over the country and finally making it home. And she was going straight home from LA
Hmm.
because she's more important than me. Because we
Oh,
each
they
bought
split your
tickets.
tickets? Oh,
Yeah, we
okay.
each bought tickets with our own points,
Mm.
so so then because I was sitting I'm sitting at lunch going, she just told somebody, oh, someone was talking to us, oh, I don't anticipate a problem with our flight. And then 5 minutes later, I got a little notification on my phone. Hey, we got different flights now. And then we go to the airport in the Big Island, Kona on the Big Island, small airport, right? So we get there, we do our things with the bags and everything. We get to the gate. It's all open air. We get to the gate. I sit down. My phone buzzes, and it says your flight's been delayed to uh, 10 a.m. tomorrow. They just took our bags. Now they have two people working. One of them, they've got another person on baggage, and one of them is both baggage and the desk. Seriously.
Mm.
So we're we're trying, like, what are we gonna do? And I'm like, we're standing in this line, it's taking forever, we can't get our bags. And I'm like, let's just go get a room, go to a resort. Who cares? I can call off Monday. I don't care. It's Friday. And I don't care about I mean, we could get stuck in Hawaii. Where else would you rather be stuck?
Right, right.
But she said no, and we were in line. There's a lot of emotions, everybody in line. And then They finally said they'll give everybody their bags back. And then I hurried up and we booked flights to Honolulu and then straight home. But to Honolulu was Hawaiian, it wasn't Delta. So that caused some issues. And then we couldn't stand in line to get vouchers for anything. And you can't, the airport closes like a store, like a park. You can't just sleep in there. I don't know what to do. And the rides are going away. So, but we did get a cab ride, and I'm sure they started calling some people to make some money because all these people were stranded. Got the bags, got this guy that worked at the resort we just checked out of. He worked there. This is his second job. $80 cab ride to go to the next door resort and bug and try to we're getting a room. On the way, we're getting a room, but Deborah gets one in another island, another Hilton in Hawaii. So then we get there and he's got the wrong place. So I got a room and I got like the local rate. It was like $220.
Oh.
I mean, for this resort where there's a train to get to places, that's how big it is. It's huge, sprawling. And we get the room there, and then now we just got almost all our money back, just not our bag fee. We had to pay a bag fee to go to Honolulu. Anyway, but by the time we get there, it's midnight. We just slept. We got up, had a little breakfast, and then got the same cab driver, same guy.
Oh, jeez.
We asked him the night before, so we have him coming back, and we go back there, and we see what they did. Okay, I'll tell the whole. What they did is the flight to Seattle was still on, but we didn't have to go there because Detroit flight was canceled. But their plane was broken. It came from Seattle and it was going back to Seattle, but it was broken. So they swapped with ours to LA. And they swapped the planes. They took our plane. My original flight took my plane on the new flight. And that's why, and it was a mechanical failure. That's why it wasn't weather anymore. So we got like all our money back. I mean, just got it yesterday. So Deborah did her magic and we got all the money for the hotel and everything.
Oh, wow.
Cab rides, everything. Just like $20 for bags or something stupid. So anyhow, it was, but I was like, let's just stay for a couple more days. Let the snow melt. But it was melted when we got home. A day late, but by the time I got home, we were up all night. So that was I got home at 6 a.m. Sunday, and I had to go take Kate to Brighton for a basketball tournament all day for Special Olympics regionals. So, and then I was just trying to take a nap in the car. There was like 3 hours between games, one of those things. God.
Oh, wow.
It took me a few days to get back. Now, if we just got a resort for 2 more nights and, got a nice trip home that wasn't such a red eye, that would have been better. But at least we got an extra night in Hawaii and not here with the snowstorm.
Right. And you get some money back. So there you have that anyway.
Yeah, it was basically free the extra time. I was fine with it. It was fine. But it's scary at first because you're like, do we sleep on the street? And the police came right away and said, you can't stay here. Yeah. They could foresee a problem. It must happen a lot. Honolulu is a big airport, This place is just like Wings. Remember
Big
the
Island,
show Wings?
Small
like
airport. That's on their travel brochures. Big Island, small airport.
Oh, So anyway, that's my travel stories because of our weather and their weather. And how was your travel, Mike?
It was great. I had no issues. There was no snafus, no weather delays or anything. It's very anticlimactic after all.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry, Joe.
We should have led with you.
No, it was great. It was a slight delay getting out of here because it did snow that day. They had to de-ice the plane, but we still wound up getting there on time. It It wasn't bad.
Yeah, your flight didn't get canceled.
No, we didn't have to get off the plane. They just de-iced it on the way. Took us to the de-icing pad.
Oh, I never had that. I don't
I thought
think I've ever had.
they used to de-ice them right at the gate. I remember
That's what I
that.
thought happened.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
remember that.
Yeah. Now they don't do that. Now they go to a de-icing pad.
That makes the
It's
planes
just
feel
on,
special.
I guess it's basically on the runway. I think they just line up and they go up on the runway and
Oh.
get de-iced.
Do you have the big brushes going over the wings?
No,
And guys up
That
on
would be
ladders
cool.
scraping
Yeah.
with the
Yeah.
ice scraper.
And then the lights come on for the hot wax.
No, nothing
And then
like
the planes
that.
come out and they, ooh, I
They're all
feel so nice
glistening.
and shiny.
Yeah,
The big smile comes up
and ice free.
below the pilot's windows, cockpit windows.
Yeah, no, we had no such snafus. It was travel was went off without a hitch, and it was great. Good trip.
Good
time.
It was a good trip for us too. 2 islands. We didn't really have to do 2, but ended up on the big island, which there's just the volcanoes. It was cool. There was coffee. Went to Kona Joe's. Went to Kona Joe's and brought some coffee home and had some
You should have got a
coffee.
shirt. You should have. That's a T-shirt right there. Come on.
They didn't have my size. It seemed to be girl shirts. And I was going to get a coffee mug, and then who cares? So I brought the coffee. That's better. Yeah, the shirts were no good. The hats were real, the kind with the mesh in the back.
Oh, jeez.
The
They're missing
foam
an
front.
opportunity. What the heck?
Yeah, when I'm not going to wear it, so I can always order, send it back. So,
Well, my
Yeah,
travel story is more boring than yours because I was here.
I was gonna say, did
And
you
then
have a
I-
travel story?
I went up to the kitchen a few times and then came back here.
I see.
well, there was no delays, right? Wait
No.
for something to heat up in the microwave. Or
Now that I
anything.
think of it, no, there weren't any delays.
Everything ran on time for Mick.
That's better than schmoes.
Actually, I ran too early.
It isn't a horror story. I mean, I was fine with it. Just I was going to lose sleep no matter what. But I didn't have to go the very same day, drive to Brighton. Almost to Mike's house.
Yeah.
That far? Oh my
Yeah,
god!
stop
know.
in.
And I
You could've
still haven't
crashed
seen the
here.
house.
Yeah. Yep. We need to plan our vacations better and
Yeah.
work out this weather stuff.
Did you plan yours, Mike? I mean, plan
Yeah.
it for a while or just real quick?
Our vacation
go.
now, it's been planned for a year. Yep.
Oh,
Wow.
really? Okay.
Yep. Yeah, in fact, we booked it while we were on the last trip last year at the same time.
This
In
sounds
fact, we
familiar.
booked our next one already. That's what we do
The
when
same
we're
place?
on the trip. Same resort, but a different location, right? And in fact, it's back to Jamaica, but we're going to be on the south side of Jamaica. So,
Back to Jamaica. I see what you did there.
yeah,
You used their whole old slogan. Did you go to Jamaica this time?
yeah, we went to
Okay.
right at not we flew to Montego Bay, but we stayed at the Royal Caribbean, which is,
Okay,
and
I
they have
remember what
another
you
one,
just told me. Now
Yeah.
you're going to another place in Jamaica. Where'd you
Yeah.
go last year?
St. Lucia.
Okay, I was in Jamaica. All right.
Nope, St. Lucia was last year, and then the year before that was Antigua.
I should have Instagrammed your photo. Since I haven't done
Yeah, I
anything
didn't
on
send
Instagram.
photos or anything. I was slacking. But
I didn't take that many photos. It was, I don't know. I was just
yeah,
not thinking.
Behind the
I took
scenes,
some
as
photos,
I
but I just
Instagram
want to
Mike's
experience
photo.
it instead of trying to.
Yeah.
I was angling. I was like, let's just go to Honolulu, stay another night, and then go to Duke's.
Yeah.
It might have been Saturday or Sunday, but
That would have been
it
cool.
didn't happen.
No, we had one of those swim up rooms. So you walk right out of your room. And you're like
wow.
your patio is like, you go in the water. It's right there.
On
It's a
in a
pool.
pool or
Yeah.
the
Yeah, it's
ocean?
the pool. Yeah.
Can't be the ocean.
Well, it can be. They have those too, but
Do they
they,
really?
yeah, they have
But
like
doesn't the
suites right
tide
on the.
mess things up?
Well, they have them. It's not in the water, but they have over the water bungalows too.
Yeah.
You can get them where that's like they have like a glass floor. You look down and you can see the
Oh,
water.
wow.
Yeah.
That's the kind of snorkeling I want to do.
Yeah. Well, those are like, $4 or $5 a night. I don't do
Mhm.
those.
I was scared when we go to this Hilton. It's older resort, but it was the greatest thing when it was first built, I guess. I mean, it has a trolley, a monorail.
The
Monorail.
Simpsons
I mean,
reference.
functional. Not like there's a reason for it, not just to have fun. So it's a train. You get on it, but we didn't have to, and I avoided it in the morning. I had to walk so far, like over a mile, to get to the breakfast and walk back.
Jeez.
Well, it's good for
And
you.
it was cold and everything.
And then by the time you get back, you're hungry again, so you gotta
No, I had to
walk all the way
I had to
back.
take
or
the
sit down.
breakfast back. It was takeout.
Oh, really?
Oh,
And they do that. They have they're designed for takeout and eat inside. So you come and get them and take them back to your room. But you're supposed to hop on that. I just skipped the train. And now I know why, because everything
There
had
you go.
cold eggs and stuff.
that's exactly why.
Yeah. And the ocean was far away. I didn't really like it. The ocean's way far away. And I guess you could pay a ton of money to be on the ocean. And this wasn't. It's way inland because it's so much space. Where we stayed, we were on the ocean. So that was better.
Yeah,
Yeah, we went to the
those are a good place though. I mean,
we did go to the active volcano, but just a few days prior, Jacob's birthday, International Margarita Day, February 22nd, it pretty much stopped doing the eruption it was doing. I mean, it's constantly a little bit, but it stopped doing that thing that both of them did over the recent months, right? And it was on the news and stuff. So we did go into the park, the national park, and then I drove up to where I'm going to go to the steam vents, like where the lava's steaming out. It's like smells like sulfur. It's sulfur, I guess it is. And but Deborah's like, she won't get out of the car. She don't want to be anywhere near. She thinks the whole place is going to erupt at any moment.
blow up.
Why are we here? Let's just get out of here. Because she could see the steam from the car. But I went out there and I stood in it, and it was actually, well, you're up in the clouds, so it's cold and rainy because you're in a cloud, and you get in front of the steam and it warms you up like a campfire. And other people were, and I got in the car and I smelled like rotten eggs. It was, and Deborah's like, "Get out of here!"
I was thinking that's why she didn't want to get out, because she didn't want
There's
to smell like
steam.
that for the rest of the
As we drive, you see them coming up from
'cause she's a
places you really
Navy.
can't walk to, and she's like, "Are you crazy? Don't slow down."
There's a volcano going off over here.
But now she's telling her friends, "We went to saw the volcano."
No.
Then we drove
I
forever,
have to take a brief
70
break.
miles an hour
A few seconds
in-
break.
in a cloud, in the saddle coming down from the two volcanoes. It's because and then she's on the phone going, it says it's not going to rain. It says 0% chance rain. And I think we're in the cloud.
Yeah.
And then that's what it was. Other people, same thing. We met another couple, and the woman was doing the same thing. The guy was driving. And she's looking at the app saying it says no chance of rain. But it's like, constant pour. It feels like you're driving through it. Your windshield wipers are going full blast. It was crazy. We had a Jeep. So
Look at you, Mr. Adventurous. We didn't even leave the resort. We stayed in the resort the whole time.
Oh, you're making me thirsty.
Well, what's everybody drinking? I made my bourbon drink with the ginger ale.
Oh,
But I used Addictivo whiskey.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was good.
Yeah, bet you that's good. And yeah, since you told me about the Grand Marnier over the ice first, that makes a difference. It really does.
Yeah, okay. I do.
I don't
I
know.
always
Maybe it's
put the
my
Grand Marnier
imagination,
first.
but
You
I don't
know,
know.
really, you should put a little. I'm next time put Grand Marnier in the glass and do the wash. You know, move it around so it coats the
Yeah.
inside. Then put some ice. Then pour a little bit on the ice too. That's my next
Oh, I wish to
trick.
subscribe to your newsletter. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think it's
Yeah,
a.
sounds
Is it
good.
called
But
a?
that does
That's
work
really
because
good.
I got the that fever tree.
Cold
Yeah,
snap.
I like cold snaps. That's the
I've
This
never
was
had
actually
one.
supposed to be last month. I was supposed to move on to like a winter beer,
Yeah.
but this is because of last month.
yeah, no, that's good stuff. And Oberon is out now, so they're starting to
Hmm.
roll the summer beers out. So
I
yeah,
was
cold
tempted
Yeah,
to
snap's
get
gonna go
Oberon.
away.
Wayne and Scott, our old podcast guy Scott, and others went to Oberon Day, as Wayne does every year in
Mm.
Kalamazoo.
But I intended to get cold snap before the season ended, so I got it for today. Maybe Oberon will be next month.
Okay, hold on. I'm looking at Michigan State. 19 seconds left. Kansas State's up by 2. Michigan State has the ball.
Wait, it's just a half, isn't it?
No,
This
no.
is it? Oh,
Yeah.
crap.
Uh-oh. Well, now's the part where I bore the crap out of you because I have a ton of concert clips. There are 5 shows to go through for
Wow.
February.
Well, we probably should talk about some Buffett.
Yeah, yeah. We should talk about Buffett. We heard the songs.
He
Now
was
this.
scheduled to do 3 shows, 2 in Key West and 1 in Hollywood, Florida. And then he scheduled 2 smaller, intimate theater shows before those 3 shows. So, and these were in a place called Key West Theater. And because he was in Key West, he was very nostalgic. And I guess Pink Crustacean is 50 years old this year.
Oh,
So he did a lot of reminiscing about Pink Crustacean and his early days in Key West, told a ton of stories. So that's why there are a lot of concert clips, and the concert clips are also pretty long. So anyway, the first show, the first of those intimate theater shows, was at Key West Theater on Saturday, February 4th. And the very first song was Everybody's Talking. And I don't have a clip from it because it was just, oh, another thing. I don't have concert clips from these first 2 shows because they weren't broadcast on Margaritaville TV or Radio Margaritaville. But the Buffett people did little cell phone clips that they would put up on Instagram. So they pretty much covered every single song, but they didn't do the intros and stuff. And I usually concentrate on the intros because that's where Buffett, is loose and telling stories and being silly. Um, the next song after Everybody's Talking was Great Filling Station Hold Up and Midnight Rider. The third song was My Lovely Lady, which I don't think I've ever heard him do live. I mean. And I do have a slight clip of that from the official Buffett cell phone video. The next song after that was I Have Found Me a Home, which is another deep cut. Then he did Railroad Lady, and for some reason I did not save the video of this. So my the only video I have is kind of by accident. Then he did Peanut Butter Conspiracy, Grapefruit Juicy Fruit, He Went to Paris, Cuban Karma Passion, and the last song for the first half of this show was They Don't Dance Like Carmen No More, which is also cool to hear. Buffett News says he took a 30-minute break, which seems pretty long. And then the second half of the show was more like a typical concert. It ended with Margaritaville, and then he came back for 2 solo encores. The first one was Nautical Wheelers, which was cool to hear again.
And occasional bottle of wine. That's cause everyone here is just more than contented to be living and dying in 3/4 time. So it's dance with me, nautical wheeler. Take me stars that you know. Come on and dance with me, nautical wheeler. I want badly to go.
And the final song was Tin Cup Chalice. And then he was back a couple days later, Monday, February 6th, a rare Monday show at the same place with the same small crowd. And the first song was once again, Everybody's Talking. This time he did My Head Hurts, My Feet Stink, and I Don't Love Jesus, which I also have a slight clip of.
Stoves to get my stuff. And it was chocolate milk, it really did. A little sugar rush got me home. Anyway, this song is all about that, so if you get disgusted, then you can just leave because you can come back up dancing on this, whatever you want to do. But this is a very, I think, one of my favorite songs and a tribute to the good old days of the old Anchor Inn, because the cops all didn't ever bust anybody because they knew all the crooks were in there. And so it was easy to go get them. So it's that kind of a place.
And the song after that was Havana Daydreaming. And then the rest of the show was kind of like a normal concert. The last encores were Southern Cross and Come Monday he saved for an encore, which was interesting. He did do Tin Cup Chalice, but it was part of the regular show. It was earlier. But the final song for that night was Come Monday. And now we can skip to the concerts that were broadcast. So I actually have playable concert clips from these. This was in the amphitheater known as Coffee Butler Amphitheater in Key West. And it was a smaller stage. This was Thursday, February 9th. This was a smaller stage, so he couldn't fit the whole band. So there was no Mick Utley. Mike Utley's son was not there. No Tina and no Doyle Grisham. First song of that night was Migration. And a couple songs in, he did Grapefruit, Juicy Fruit. And I've got a clip of that because he went into even more detail about the writing of that song. Even more detail than the last clips that I played. Oh, actually, I think the audio might be really loud for you guys, so I have to turn it down on my end.
So this is a song that we memorialize a great American landmark, our Florida landmark, the Islander Drive-In Theater on Stock Island. It's gone. But in its day, it was very, very interesting, and it was a place to, when you get a little kind of cabin fever being on Key West, you could just hop over to Stock Island. Mm-hmm. And in those days, there was a drinking circuit of sorts. So let's just say, anybody here remember the Full Moon Saloon by any chance? Oh, God, okay. So he started Full Moon. And I think they closed at 2, and then you could get in a car and you could go to Stock Island to the Boca Chica Bar. Boca Chica 2 to 5. There you could sit there, and then at 5 you could go to the Conch Flyer at the airport, which opened right readily at 5:15. Yeah, and there was breakfast and Bloody Marys there, and I made that trip a couple of times and then had a good time. And this song kind of came out of all those crazy days. And it's a cross between acting like that and Catholic guilt. So figure that out right now. It's called Grapefruit, Juicy Fruit. And it's...
Anyway, that was Grapefruit, Juicy Fruit. He did Jolly Man Sing next. And then Volcano, and here's a clip from Volcano. And I believe, whoops, I clicked on the wrong thing and blocked you guys. I believe this clip has an edit in it. So it's like the intro and then it jumps into the song, or maybe it's an intro and then it jumps to the outro after the song. But anyway, just to let you know, this is actually 2 clips in one.
Don't wanna land in no Mar-a-Lago, don't wanna land in no Buzzards Bay, don't wanna land in no Beijing City, get that damn balloon away. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going about That wasn't the balloon being shot down, was it? We've had a balloon up here in the Keys for years. You know, it did get loose one time. Does anybody remember that? No, it's kind of a CIA balloon up the Keys there, but it broke loose one time, and there was a brave fisherman who'd been fishing all night. He may have had a couple of cocktails. Because he went out, I don't think he was trying to rescue the balloon. He was trying to salvage it and get some money. So he tied his boat to the balloon this is true, as it was floating away. And then, as the sun came up and the earth got hotter, the balloon started rising, and it took this American entrepreneur, took him and his boat for a little ride on that balloon. And I think the Coast Guard got him, and then I think they got the balloon down. So we know a balloon story when we hear one, So sounds like a tall tale, but you can look it up. Okay, yeah. And anyway,
couple songs after that, they did 5 O'Clock Somewhere, and here's a clip from the intro to that song. Ooh, it's a long one too, so I should go get another beer.
All right. And we have a lot of talent in the old Coral Reefer band here, and as I've said before, over the last few years, because of everything that's happened, Mac McAnally has played more in the Keys than I have. He is the king of the hogfish. That's correct. Yes.
I've had a pretty good time.
Yeah, I know. So, but also we had a very good, lucky break here, because we also have our studio in town here that we have done a lot of work on, and it's so much fun to have lived here for such a long time and soaked up all the stories and the memories that became songs, and then be able to record them in our studio down there, Shrimp Boat Sound.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. So I'm going to if you've been to a Mac show, he can talk too. He can talk a long time, and he can tell a tall tale too. So I'm going to let him tell a little tall tale here about the studio and some friends of ours who we had a lucky break, didn't we?
Yes, we've had a few.
A couple down here.
This was one of the early ones, though.
Yeah. I've broken a few things down here too. So,
well, yeah.
Either way, go ahead.
Well, we've been making Jimmy's records down here for quite a while, and look forward to every moment of it. But along the way, we brought some buddies, and it's turned out that George Strait's made a bunch of records down here. Zach Brown's made records down here. Kenny Chesney's made records down here. Jamie Johnson's made records down here. But this particular tall tale that Jimmy's asking me to tell relates to our buddy Mr. Alan Jackson from
he's a tall tale
from North Georgia.
Wait a minute. Do that again. Is anybody here from Georgia? Anybody? All right. Go ahead. Do it again.
North Georgia.
North Georgia. Is that right? Yeah.
We don't want to waste an R unnecessarily.
I have never heard that refrain before.
I've never said it before.
Well, there you go. You got something completely original here tonight. All right.
But Alan found this song about time not mattering, and what better place in the world than Key West, Florida, to come and sing a song about time not really making much difference.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
We got one. I'm going to be the fake Alan for you today, and this is the real Jimmy Buffett, and it's 5 o'clock somewhere, people.
That's it.
Next song was Come Monday, and Jimmy got nostalgic about this.
And the great thing about winding up in Key West 50 years ago, can you believe that? Anyway, it's been a lovely cruise, I'll tell you that. But the thing about it is so many stories kind of turned into songs around here, and all kinds of situations and all kind of ways to sing them and kind of work them into it. It was a big tree full of big kind of inspiring writing mangoes to me, I guess. And I've written a lot of songs based on some interesting stories here, but this is probably my favorite one because I wrote it another one of those 10-minute songs, but I met my lovely wife Jane here 50 years ago almost in the phone booth at the Pier House Hotel. She's with her old friend, my dear friend Groovy Gray, and I said, boy, she's kind of cute, and I hope she's not with him. And so it started in the phone booth, and we're still going. Who could believe that, huh? So this is a little song called Come Monday, all right? So for anybody else who's hung on to a good woman for a long time, I send this out to you, all right?
Song after that was Cheeseburger in Paradise. Here's the intro to that, plus a little snippet of the song itself. So once again, it's 2 clips in one.
So I got to make the record clear on this. One song I did not write here was Cheeseburger in Paradise, and nor did I write it in the state of Florida, where a lot of people claim I did, but that didn't happen that way. So it was actually written, if you want to know, in Tortola in the British Virgin Islands. But we had left from here sailing. My old dear friend Tom Corcoran, who I'm dedicating this show to tonight, a dear friend of mine who passed away, a great sailor, a great Key Wester, and an amazing guy. And so we had sailed away not knowing a lot about where we were going and what we were doing, and we wound up in storms across the Gulf Stream, had the shit scared out of us several times, but we made it. And when we got there, the thing of it was, things were not as up to speed in the Caribbean in those days. But when we got to Tortola, we said, well, we got to eat. We've been at sea for a long time, and I thought, man, if there was a place that had a cheeseburger, you know, down here they eat cheeseburgers are made of horse meat down here, and I don't want that. True. If you see it on the box, it said "Produit de cheval." That's in French. That means it's a horse. So anyway, it was rumored that that's what they did, and all of a sudden they said there's this great place that just opened, and they've got cheeseburgers, and by God, they were made from beef. What a discovery, you know? And so there was Corcoran, me, Groovy Gray, Steve Hinchcliffe, all crew guys from here, and we probably ate 6 cheeseburgers apiece and drank 22 pina coladas apiece too, because we had been at sea. And so that's the real story. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So if anybody tells you that cheeseburger was written here, now you know the truth. So come on down to Tortola with us, but you can have a cheeseburger here in Margarita if you want to, because they're pretty good there too. Let's do it. There's no horse meat, but American creation.
I'm grossed out.
Horse meat.
Here's a clip from Women Going Crazy on Caroline Street.
So one of the things that's been great is for spending this much time down here and getting to do all these shows is I kind of got my bicycle out and just rode around my old neighborhoods and kind of rode all over and got to see old friends from a long time ago. But I always have loved the street names in Key West, and I have used some of them myself. My favorite one is Poorhouse Lane, you know. I never lived on Poorhouse Lane, though I was poor in those days. But I lived at a cross section. My street abated to Poorhouse Lane. So I always wondered if there was a poorhouse on there, where they got the name from, and I never. So if anybody knows, let me know, because I didn't. But there's some others that are kind of indifferent. They don't have big names or titles or things behind them. But one that wasn't that descriptive to begin with kind of worked for me when I when I wound up on Caroline Street one night. Let's just say some of this happened and some of it was made up. As William Faulkner said, I'm a lawyer. No, I'm not a lawyer. I'm a liar, and I make a good living at it. So,
jump ahead to the end of the main part. Oh no, I did want to mention that he also did Havana Daydreaming a couple songs later. Actually, after Little Martha, Jimmy came back for Havana Daydreaming. Then skip ahead to the end of the main part of the concert with Margaritaville, and here's the intro to that.
All righty, so I guess we'll end up here in Margaritaville. I had it. Oh yeah, we got a song. We got a song like that, didn't we? This song was actually started on the 7 Mile Bridge. Some people know, but if you didn't know that story, I was working in Texas and working colleges in Texas, and I had a friend of mine who was we'd partied a little bit that night. And yes, and let's see. So she took me out to this little Mexican restaurant in Austin, and we had a couple of tacos and had a margarita. Kind of, we were day drinking, is what we were doing.
Art imitates life.
Yeah, there is an art to day drinking, isn't there? I think, yeah. But anyway, that's how it started, and. It was a very tasty margarita. And I came up with the word Margaritaville. I said, it's like Margaritaville. And so I had to get on a plane, fly to Miami, get in my car, and drive down the US 1. And on 7 Mile Bridge, there was a wreck, and somebody had bounced off the curb or something. Nobody got hurt, but I was held up for 2 hours. And that's actually where I finished the song, was on the 7 Mile Bridge after a wreck. And I drove home, and I played it at the bar that night. People said, play that again. And I went, man, this might be good. So I'd like to thank that person who ran into the 7 Mile Bridge. I just thought of that. I had to come back to the Keys to come up with that. You know, I've thanked a lot of other people, but whoever ran into the bridge, thank you very, very much. I'm glad you didn't get hurt. And I got this 3-minute song that has done pretty well for me. But thanks to you for always wanting to go to Margaritaville. And you're here now. Let's do it.
The encores were Southern Cross, Nautical Wheelers, and Tin Cup Chalice. And then we jump ahead to Saturday, February 11th for the second show at the Coffee Butler Amphitheater. Once again, there's no Mick Utley. There was Mike Utley, but no Mick Utley, no Tina, and no Doyle. And the opening song was Why Don't We Get Drunk as a Screw? Right off the bat. Here's a clip from, usually he would do Fins as the second song, but this time he did it as the fourth song, and I include it because he mentions Michigan.
I was out around Ballast Key, and there weren't land sharks, but there was like a lemon shark out there, kind of shadowing me for a while out there. And I realized that he wasn't going to bite me; he was just looking for a ticket. Well, the first part of that is true, that ticket thing, not so much. But for you land sharks who've come a long way, like from Stock Island and maybe Boston, or the great Midwest. I saw a lot of Michigan people out there today. Miami people, Key West people. We got fins to the left.
Next song was Grapefruit Juicy Fruit, and I mention it because during this intro, he says that the Conch Flyer opened at 4:15, and in the earlier intro, he said it opened at 5:15. So
Fusion.
I suppose I could research and find out, but just to show that Jimmy's memory might not be as reliable as he believes. Jump forward a bunch of songs, and after Little Martha, Jimmy came back to do I Have Found Me a Home, which one of my early favorites. And he went to Paris. He dedicated to Burt Bacharach, and Burt Bacharach had died a couple days before on February 8th. This show was February 11th, so we dedicated that song to Burt Bacharach, and here's what he had to say.
I'm going to do this tonight for Burt Bacharach. I was lucky enough to meet him. I was amazed he knew who I was and he liked my song. How about that? I studied him a lot. Sail on, Burt. He went to Paris.
Did you guys see the photo of Jimmy and Burt Bacharach on Instagram?
I did. I think I saw that. Yep.
I think it was on Facebook too.
Yep.
And Paul McCartney was there. I think it was.
That's right. Okay.
I think Paul McCartney was actually hosting it, and Jimmy and Burt were both there to visit Paul McCartney. But it was really weird to see all three of them in the same photo. Next song was Cuban Crime of Passion, and I got a clip from that because I think this is the one where Jimmy kind of messes up the beginning of the song.
All right. There's a little song that that had its beginnings down on the south side of town in what used to be what was the name of that bar? The Sands Bar and Hotel. And I can't remember what the name now, but there was a piano player in there that old David Wachowski, my dear friend, had playing there. And I seem to like people that have lost appendages. I don't know what this is, but his name was Billy Ninefingers, and that's all he had. I did not make that part of it up. But the rest of it was a combination of listening to him. He was a great piano player. And then, there, of course, in the Herald one day, there was a story that came out that said, just another Cuban crime of passion. I went, I'll take that, and I'll take that, and I'll make this song. So, also, we're going to do this tonight because Pirate Radio, we gave them the feed for this to go up and down the keys, but also on clearer nights, I know because when I was in Havana, you can hear Pirate Radio on the Malecón. So para todos amigos a cubano esta noche en el Malecón, será canciones para tú. Cuban Crime of Passion.
Huh? Ooh. Does that mean I did not include the part where he screws up? I'll have to put that in post.
I was going to say, I didn't pick up any screw ups
One,
there.
2, 3. Very interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
How could he screw up that way? Oh my goodness.
I thought that it was too difficult to edit the songs together, so I thought that I faded out and then faded back in, and I guess I forgot to fade back in.
Well, one night he did find her in the arms of Shepherd, and so he pulled a knife and took poor Danny's life, and then he turned his own gold hand. It's just a Cuban crime of passion, messy and old-fashioned. That's what the paper did say.
Joe, you're still on mute.
Yep.
I hit it, but I didn't hit it right, I guess.
I guess not.
See, Deborah came in here when we were listening to Buffett and was very distressed at the way I was dressed. Oh, I'm wearing all the lays I got laid at.
That's perfect. You're dressed
Yeah, I
perfectly
know.
for the show.
Yeah.
But she's like, nobody else is dressed like that.
No, we're not. Every time you show up in a floral shirt or Hawaiian shirt, it's like, oh, why didn't I think to do that?
All right, next show for sure. We all got to wear the Hawaiian shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It'll be
I'm
getting
actually
close to
cold.
getting warm.
But then you'll be warm next time. It should be
Yes,
warm by
hopefully. Even though it is spring now, that'll be our
then.
celebration of spring show.
There we go.
Anyway, the next song is One Particular Harbor. Song after that was Pirate Looks at 40, and Jimmy dedicated that to Tom Corcoran.
This was written right here in Key West about my old friend Phil Clark, who was, amongst other things, he was a bartender also with Tom Corcoran and Sidney Snellgrove and Bob Mayo, those guys at the old chart room. And I loved the chart room because when I played there for tips. And but all those great guys who worked there, they had other jobs too that were kind of they weren't day jobs. But at the day job, I never had to pay for a drink in the chart room. It was a great run. Somehow they got accidentally on somebody else's bar tab at the bar. Yeah, it was one of the perks of working in the chart room. So to all of those guys and all the people that I know in and out of here, this is called Power Looks at 40.
And the encores to this were Last Mango in Paris and once again Tin Cup Chalice. Then we fast forward to Wednesday, February 15th at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood, Florida. This time the stage was big enough for the full band, so everybody's back. And Jimmy also had an opening act, a guy named Scotty Emmerich. And I wasn't too sure about this guy. The Margaritaville TV did not broadcast, and Radio Margaritaville did not broadcast him, but I did get to see footage of him on Jimmy's Instagram account. And he jumped up, in my estimation, by a lot by ending his 5-song set with Brahma Fear, which is a song I've been wanting Jimmy to do for a long time, but I think it's kind of too high up in his range nowadays. So it was very cool to hear Scotty Emmerich do it.
Nice.
I was thinking that the Bing and Bong show would precede Jimmy's concert and would happen during Scotty Emmerich's part, but apparently the Bing and Bong show preceded Scott Emmerich's set, even though it wasn't broadcast. So I totally missed out on the one Bing and Bong show that they did in February. And apparently Jimmy mentioned that from what I've read, Jimmy mentioned that concert dates would not be announced till April. So everybody getting all upset about no concert dates yet. Is he going on tour? Oh my God. Shouldn't they have been announced already? Buffett himself said that they would not be announced till April. So there you go. Anyway, the first song of the Hard Rock concert on Wednesday, February 15th was Changes in Latitudes. Here's another. That's not lucky.
He's not lucky.
Just as happy, though.
Just
a little
as frightened.
puffball. She's a little puffball.
Just as happy.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe a little more.
It's the look of fear. That's
I'm
the
about
best
to
part.
say. More like, what the hell?
Yeah. How long is this gonna go on?
Who are these people?
The things they do.
Just
all I see is
down.
All I see is shades of electronic.
There's no colors.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Shades of gray. What are those?
Anyway,
now pick Bo up.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, that's not happening.
The first clip from the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino show is also Grapefruit Juicy Fruit.
All righty. So this song goes all the way back. The thing of it was, when we went down to Key West, we had something in mind to do down there just to go play for folks because it was the 50th. Hang on a minute. The 50th anniversary of White Sport Coat and the Pink Rose Station. How in the hell did that happen? That was like 4 years ago. Right, Mr. Mike Utley, who was on every album I ever did?
Oh, yeah. It was 4 years.
Plus what? 46. Yes, thank you very much. Okay. But anyway, some things have changed in Key West since I was there before, but it seems like people are, somebody told me when I first got there, you should have been here 10 years ago. Yeah. People always say that, but it looks pretty cool down there, but some things are missing. So if you're going down to Key West, You cannot go out to the Islander Drive-In Theater on Stock Island anymore. It's gone. So it's a memory, except in this song right here I'm going to do for you. So, if you're starting your weekend early, and you may wind up down there, have no fear, because there's still things you can do on Stock Island. So there is the Boca Chica Bar. Yeah. And where do you like to eat down there?
I have a permanent picnic table at Hogfish Bar down
The
there.
Hogfish Bar.
It's got my name carved with some gum stuck right under the edge.
I've seen the name in your gum. Did you put your gum under the table?
No, I just like that gum.
Oh, okay. Anyway, I'm just, I'm being a little sarcastic with Mac, because while I was doing other things, Mac played about 2,500 more days in Key West than I did. Right? But he's got his name on the wall in there, yeah. And Scotty's got his name on the wall in there.
That's right.
That's why they're in the band, so they can't go down there and play anymore. Oh, okay, all right. Anyway, all right. So is anybody here going to commit a mortal sin this evening? Is there? Yes. Man, I knew y'all were good when I heard you come thundering through the door.
Here's a clip from the intro to 5 O'Clock Somewhere.
Oh, it turned right on. Oh, okay, here comes another pick. Did he make it? Oh. There you go. You have a 12-string guitar? You should get one to go with that pick. Okay, yeah. It's a little more expensive, but yeah, they're fun to play. They really are. Right?
Yeah, not fun to tune, fun to play.
No, not fun to tune. Not fun to tune. Just weld them in place and then it's okay. That's great. That's great advice from me. I'm going to turn you over to somebody who knows a little bit more about guitars. 10-time CMA Musician of the Year in Nashville, Tennessee, Mr. Matt McAnally.
How we doing?
And like I said, he's done 6,254 more days in Key West than I have, but because he does a solo show, and like Scotty Emmerich, they are great solo performers who have written great songs. And I'm honored and humbled to have them in this band, but I pay the shit out of them too. Right? You don't slack with somebody like that, And they get cheeseburgers too.
Yes, it's fact.
Yeah. It's a good gig, isn't it, gang? Yeah. How did I go there? I don't know. I'm having a big time.
I'm going with you wherever you're headed. I'm right beside.
All right. So tell him about this, because this is, I don't know. Does he qualify as a Floridian kind of now? Yeah.
It's funny. Alan Jackson sort of straddles the line between Georgia and Florida in a really good way.
That would be the great name for a band, the Georgia, Florida.
Georgia. Yeah, somebody should.
Somebody got that? I don't know.
Yeah. But I think you get a little credit for pulling him this direction a little. He's.
Well, it was like fishing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because he found a couple of sort of Florida-ish songs as he went along in that gorgeous career he's had.
Yeah. Yes.
And he found one and called up Jimmy. Said, "What are you doing?" And Jimmy,
nothing.
Nothing. You still got that studio down the Keys? Yeah. Well, I found a song, man. Seemed like it's a good one. We could sing together. It's about not knowing or caring what time it is.
That's a good song for Key West people. Yeah.
Key West is a good place to sing a song like that.
We're going to get there in a minute. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Well, Alan talks slow too. I'm trying to get in the mode here,
Yeah.
I'll be your reserve Alan Jackson for the evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure.
All right. And anybody here from Georgia tonight? Anybody from Georgia?
We got Georgia.
Okay. So Mac does Georgia real good.
Oh, you're setting me up.
Yeah, I did. So, yeah.
Well, you come from North Georgia, you omit the unnecessary R's in your vocabulary.
Okay. Well,
I come from North Mississippi, so I can't make fun of anybody on earth.
Well, I'm from South Mississippi, and I'd say the same thing to you. All right.
But we got this song that's fun to sing, and people, you know it better than we know it, but it's just 5 o'clock somewhere. That's what it is.
It's the best 20 minutes I've spent in the studio.
Yeah, it was definitely the longest clip. Next song was Cheeseburger. Then they did Trying to Reason with Hurricane Season. No, I skipped already. I skipped one. The next clip is from the song directly after 5 o'clock summer, which is Come Monday. Usually Jimmy had been dedicating it to his wife, as you heard earlier, and this time he forgets it, but is saved by Mac.
All right. Okay. Well, you know, when you start out writing songs, you're always trying to emulate people and listen to other songs that people write. And, you know, as Mark Twain said, you know, creativity is only undetected plagiarism. And everything's been around for a long time. So this was kind of, I admit it, I was a folky at one time. So this was like I was listening to a Leonard Cohen song. That's what got me going on this. And Suzanne takes you down, you know that movie? So, but I wanted to not get real close. So, and then, but it was inspiring. So it did work out okay for this little song. So this little thing called Come Monday. And thank you, Leonard Cohen, for, you know, I hope I can be an inspiration to people too, like he was to me.
There's your favorite.
Oh, and there was one other inspiration and an inspiring moment because I met my wife of almost 50 years now. I can't even believe that one. In a phone booth in Key West, Florida, and I hung on to her for a little while, and she was the other inspiration to that song other than Leonard. So that goes out to Jane Buffett right there. Yeah, that's it.
Way to go, Mac.
Good save.
Huh?
Good save.
Yeah, I'll tell you. Yeah, good save. This guy, you know those people you're at work and they go, what did you just say to me? He just said something. No, I'm gonna keep it between you and me. There we go. Okay, all right. Anyway, okay, but you can open up your mouth now because we're gonna get that cheeseburger that I promised you as part of your salary. Yes.
I like how Jimmy doesn't think that that got picked up by the mics, but
I was just going to say it.
Radio Margaritaville got it and broadcast it to everybody. So that's
Just
cool.
between the two of them.
Yeah.
The next song was Cheeseburger, and the song after that was Trying to Reason with Hurricane Season, which was nice to hear again. After that was Coconut Telegraph, which was nice to hear again. Then we jump ahead to He Went to Paris. Here's the outro to He Went to Paris, where Jimmy gets a little political, and he has something to say about the recent mass shooting that took place in Florida. And not to sound callous, but there have been so many mass shootings recently that I've forgotten which one this was. But anyway, he had this to say about it.
I'd like to send that song out tonight to those Stand from Parkland people that I've been working with for a long time, to the people who have lost children. That is a tragedy, and we've got to do something about that. And it's up to all of us to do it, working together and trying to get back together in this country like we always were before, and forget the politics. This is about humanity. That's what I got to say about that. And to Tony Milando and his whole family, thank you for coming. I know it's been a hard week, and great Parrot Head fans, and I'd like to give them as much comfort as I can. All right, so we're going to that one particular tower. Tony, let's go.
The last song of the main part of the concert was Margaritaville, and he was once again joined by Scotty Emmerich on vocals and guitar. Here's a little clip from the band intros because I was amused by what Jimmy had to say about Mac.
Mr. Robert Greenwich on the steel drums right there. Peter Mayer on guitar. Eric Darkin on percussion. The versatile Mac McAnally on everything, including stepping on his own guitar. Roger Guth on the drums. Jim Mayer on bass. Dangerous Doyle Gresham on the pedal steel. Our Floridian from Wellington, Mr. John Lovell right there. The Coral Reef Reds, Tina Gullickson. Mr. Deer Shakur, the Flying Udleys, Nick Utley and Mike Utley. And most of all, thanks to all of you. We love you. Thank you. Stay up, stay up. We'll just do it. We're only going to do, we're going to do mango. We'll do it. Mango and tin cup. Yeah.
And as you could hear, the encores were Last Mango in Paris and Tin Cup Chalice. And that wraps up February. That's 5 shows from February. And Jimmy did some more shows in March. I think it was 4 shows. And I've got those in the hopper. And they're all set for our next
We have
episode.
a hopper.
I don't know, whatever it is. I'm not even sure what a hopper is.
We have one.
Yeah, what is a hopper?
But they're there.
Isn't that the thing you shovel stuff into and or before it gets chopped up?
Really?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound good. Why do people use that expression?
I don't know.
Yeah, because all these expressions have some kind of death or something.
Yeah, they're all violent.
Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, because like it actually happened.
This must have happened.
I kind of doubt that. Babies aren't that small.
Yeah, but it'd be completely dark water. So yeah, they'd be drowned by then. You're right.
No, people are dumb. It could have happened.
Yeah, they are. He
This
referred
water
to
sure is lumpy.
There's a lot of dirt in here.
He referred to Parkland. So the people standing with Parkland or whatever were there at that show. And that's that 2 years ago shoot.
Yeah, I was going to say,
but there
that's a
was
while
one in
ago.
Florida right around then too.
I don't
There's
even
been a
wanna
bunch of
guess.
there's
No, there's
Colorado, a couple
There's
of them.
been more than one a day. A few weeks ago, it was through February for sure. It was more than one a day. I don't know what it is now.
I have an idea which one it would be, but I really don't want to sit here and guess. And I also don't want to do the research on it. So,
Yeah, it's depressing.
but it's
Yep.
it's not going to be a secret. So if you're really interested, you could look it up. It's the one that was at middle of February or early February. Anyway, on that note, excuse me. On that note, I have to go grab another bottle.
I should freshen up my.
Yeah, I could go for a splash myself.
Cool.
All right.
We can talk TV and
Intermission.
movies.
Yeah.
Yes,
All right.
yes. We can talk TV. I don't think I'm muted.
That's life on the North Coast, wasting away on the North Coast.
Holy crap.
Have you guys been paying any attention to the Pine Knob shows?
I just saw the list like
Oh, I
yesterday.
didn't. God, that
And
used to be
there
a big
wasn't
thing.
anything that just jumped out at me.
Because I've been seeing so many dates, so many weekends being, taken that
Oh, for
I'm wondering if is Buffett going to have any days left.
Right.
It's maybe he's going to go to Grand Rapids now, and that'd be a hell of a road trip.
Or
just
he'll
to
do a
see him.
Comerica
well,
thing again, maybe.
I already have a stop for us on the way, so bathroom and some moons over my hammy, and then
Cool. Because that would suck driving all that way, see a concert, and then have to drive all the way back.
we can stay overnight. We can go to the zoo.
Yeah, we can recreate our last trip out there, have some wine beers and then stop.
God, you say that, and I have that every God.
I don't know how we
And
thought
why,
that was a good
why didn't
idea.
I just throw up? I mean, when I got home, it'd be better to throw up.
What's a wine beer?
It was like
They were
14%
9%
beer or
alcohol,
something.
swamp
Oh.
water.
Was it 9? I thought it was more. It was
Mhm.
ridiculous.
It might have been more. Oh, whatever number it was, someone thought it might have been me because I'm so smart that it was a percentage of which you would call it wine. It could be called wine. There's a percentage for liquor, and some wines have enough to be liquor, and they have to be behind the counter
Hmm.
and stuff like that. Once in a while, this was just And that taste, it was
It
very
was bad.
sweet. Yeah.
And we had more than one. I don't know
No,
why.
no, the first one was okay. But then I had like a bunch, and then I said, okay, no more. And then we're drinking tequila and drinking other beer. And then Scott bought me one more wine beer, and I drank it. Why'd I drink it?
Nobody made you drink it, but you drank it.
Sounds horrible.
Oh, 7 seconds left. Gonzaga just hit a 3-pointer, took a 2-point lead. Hold on. Oh my God. Oh, Gonzaga stole it and got fouled. So I think they're going to win it after all. How weird.
Wow. Almost gave it away.
But the most important thing out of all this is Michigan State lost.
Right.
I don't know. Did you notice I already did that? Well,
We have to talk for 4 more minutes. And then we'll officially be 4 hours and 30 minutes.
Holy crap.